Would you still run away, break hearts, save the day, restart? Be the way so dark, can't you see what's going on? You just lie so long, can't deny you're wrong. Feeling I all gone, I just wanna go alone. I'm just trying to prove that I'm the best. I don't do it for the money, for the cause or for the checks. I got way too many people trying to put me through the test. I'm just feeling really good about myself without the rest. What you saying, what you saying, what you feeling? Coming back home slowly. What you saying, what you saying, what you feeling? So baby, let me know how I lost control. Save the day, restart, be the way so dark. Can't you see what's going on? You just lie so long, can't deny you're wrong. Feeling I all gone, I just wanna go alone. I'm just trying to prove that I'm the best. I don't do it for the money, for the cause or for the checks. I got way too many people trying to put me through the test. I'm just feeling really good about myself without the rest. What you saying, what you saying, what you feeling? Coming back home slowly. What you saying, what you saying, what you feeling? So baby, let me know how I lost control.
Every time, but right on Seraphine.
Poppy does make a little pick onto the Seraphine, is able to knock her into the wall. Seraphine is going to flash away. Oh, see if Viego gets cheeky here. He does. He can finish the kill. And now we do have a fight. We have a 3-man from the Malphite. Oh, we have the Zaya rooting the Viego and the tree, and is going to take the double kill. And then we have the Poppy here, just not able to finish off there. The Jinx is able to secure the kill, though, on the Jarvan, and now they are trying to save this poor Annie. Poppy does get the into the wall under the Vex to buy some time. However, Malphite just chases that Annie down, gets a double kill, and kills the Jinx.
Never mind.
You do see the Malphite just ulting on top of the Viego, and that Viego gets instantly deleted by the team. The Vex and the Jarvan there to say, no thank you. And the siege begins on to BYOB's inner base here. So Poppy is taking a ton of damage here just from the poke. And here comes the charm on top of the Jarvan. leads to the Annie and the Poppy being deleted by the Zaya, and Baron Buddies is going to finish this game off and says, thank you for playing for 31 minutes, but we'll win again.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean,
damage from that Caitlyn.
Here
we go. The Moo is going to land the Q. He is going to land the stun. Caitlyn is being forced out of the fight, although the good little stun on top of the Aurelia, and the Swain is able to finish the Gator. The Swain all doing work there in the middle. The double kill coming out. However, the Aurelia in the back is able to finish off the Caitlyn. More damage coming out from the Swain, and the Aurelia can finish that fight. I'd like to see them start before.
There it is.
And yeah, here comes the Swain. He is going to teleport on top. Rel is already choked down really low. Mumu is on the run. And wow, look at that Swain ult on top. However, the Aurelia is going to land a stun on the Swain.
Got exhausted.
This Daisy and this Caitlyn just running them over. Zaya gets a triple kill. Getting caught and stunned. And Maokai just charging forward. Caitlyn just firing shots. That ultimate
my goodness.
Rel comes in late, is able to land a stun. However, the Aurelia is going to get the kill on the Caitlyn, and then she's going to just die of damage. And then this poor Mumu just can't finish anything off. And then again, Ivern lands, and down goes Mumu. Down is going Jenna from the Crocodile. However, again, the damage just Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of the LXC on a Monday night. I'm Master Glider. All Guide is with me. All get ready for tonight.
Everybody? Yeah, you know I'm ready. I'm always ready to see some fights and some League of Legends. Let's get started.
Excellent. Before we get started tonight, special notification. Soulkeeper, our producer, our lovely producer for the evening, one of the League executives. Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday to Soulkeeper. You knew it was coming. You know I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it live on stream because you know you get the voicemail. So instead of doing the voicemail, let's do it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Love you, babe. You knew it was coming. All right, let's get on to more important things for the evening. Our matchup featuring this would be for the second place, I believe, with CB, TABARNAK, and TD Bring Your Own Braum going head-to-head. Battle for second place going into the last of our regular season before we move into the playoffs. What you got for me tonight, dog? What you think is going to happen?
I'm sorry, I'm still in disbelief. You didn't tell me you were going to do that. So I wasn't ready for that. If we're going to be 100% honest. But, all right. So from these two teams, I'm expecting, we know it's coming. We're knowing some target bans are coming. Personally, I expect to see a Zeri Jinx ban on the side of, on the side of TD Bring Your Own Braum. I got to shorten that. TDBYLB? Yeah, TDBYLB. I expect probably a Jinx ban against the AD carry, maybe a Shen ban against the top laner. Take away their priority champions and the ones we're more likely to see here. What do you think?
We saw from BOIB last week. They played a really good Aurelia. They got a good snowball start on the Aurelia. Unfortunately, couldn't win the game with her. Kind of fell off. The Swain was able to come back. ADC was able to get some kills. Caitlyn was able to kind of pull that game in, even though Aurelia was on top of her most of the game. So I would expect to see a couple targeted bans at the mid, get them on something more uncomfortable. Don't let them play that Aurelia again. Surprised they didn't in first rotation ban of it. I expected to see the Maokai ban for the jungle and the support. I know they flex it, but I am expecting to see them play more like they did the second game last week instead of the first game. Play a little bit more of a team oriented comp. Last week they played that unfortunate comp in that first game, and they weren't really getting much going in the second game. Much more stronger team fight game from them. So I would expect to see them play off of that, play a little bit more on that around that the big team comp wombo combo. The Jinx is picked up there from BYOB. She's been nerfed, but she's still, Jinx. So not certain how much of a nerf she actually got.
I was expecting this to be taken away. I wasn't expecting anyone to actually pick up the Jinx here, but cool. Glad to see it. And yeah, she did recently get the nerf, but I think the main problem was with the items. It wasn't with her. I think that wasn't really justified. So we may see a same performance from them. I mean, same performance as usual from a Jinx.
Yeah, I think the item prioritization. You're right. I think last time they didn't take the IE, the second item. They tried to rush an LDR, and they were able to get the big damage from the Jinx, and she just kind of got mauled by the tanks just diving on top of her. So hopefully we'll see a little bit better itemization. We do see the Ornn picked up, which is something we talked about last week. We didn't really get to see it, but it looks like this week we are going to see more of the Ornn. So this indicates more of that team fight that we kind of want to see from them on kind of the front to back. So maybe some disengage from TABARNAK side. Or are we going to see something? Oh, we're going to see an Alistar. Okay.
Good. That's a good pick. That is a little bit of engage and counter engage there. I mean, that's a protect the carry kind of thing right there. He's either going in or he's staying in the back line of, make sure Kaiser can stay alive. So pretty good pickup. Especially because with the Ornn, you can definitely know they're going to pick somebody else to go in with him. So that's a pretty good pickup there.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have thought Nautilus might have been in a better spot than Alistar here, but it could be they're playing more towards the disengage side of Alistar. Because flash into knock up into punt can be a little bit harder to set up. We do see the set. Which again has some potential. Haven't seen a lot of Set this particular split. He's been missing from a lot of comps, so really good to see a Set back in here. I'm hoping that is not a Set jungle and that's a Set top.
Yeah, I'm gonna put money on Set. I mean, you know what? Let's see how the next banning phase goes, and we'll go from there. Also, it seems like the partner they picked up for Ornn is going to be the rail here. Interesting.
All right, so we do see the support rail. Don't think she's been played a lot in the jungles lately since a little bit of her changes, cut back a little bit of her activity in jungle. So looks like this should be a support rail. So a standard front to back, a lot of CC coming out from both sides. We do see the Victor banned out, which would indicate to me maybe they're wanting to play something a little bit closer. Do you see the Silas being banned? Maybe we see a Viker ban? Banning out these mids. Might as well get the Sandra, Viger, and Ari at that table, right? And Syndra?
That is true. The LeBlanc ban, I don't see a reason for them to be too scared of that. Yeah, looking at it, I'm not seeing CB on with a lot of time on LeBlanc. That's pretty interesting. So,
you know what I'm not seeing is this mid was allowed to play Zed and went absolutely crazy. They didn't ban the Zed, but they banned the LeBlanc. A little crazy to go with Zed right here. Maybe that's a lot of AD and forcing your jungle on an AP. Really, we'll have to see what they do. Maybe we might see the Ari since the Annie got banned out. I would expect to see maybe the Ari, which was played really well last week by Cat in the Hat on stream, who shut me up when I was talking about Ignite versus TP. So I'm reminded of that once again, Cat.
I mean, he didn't shut you up, but he showed you, is this a Jarvan pick?
All right. Again, more of that team comp. Jarvan able to go in, Cataclysm with the Rel follow up, and then the Jinx on top of it. So, and then the same thing top with the Ornhorn. So more CC coming out. And I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw the RA played by them at that case with the Jarvan, but we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Tabernac still kind of. They got the Set, they got the Alistar, they got the Kaisa. All they're missing is some big AP damage. You have the Syndra. Oh, okay, all right. So we're going straight. They don't have a Zed option, but they got a Diana option. So,
is this the Diana jungle or the Diana mid though?
Good question. Good question.
Because I can see an argument for Diana jungle and Zed mid.
You don't really blind Diana mid, though. You can blind a jungle, but there's a lot of matchups you don't want to see on mid. Maybe it could be flex depending on the option. I'd be curious.
That's why I'm thinking Diana jungle. Because that would make more sense. Because you don't want... Because, if they picked any range mid laner, Diana's just going to have a terrible time.
You pick Syndra, you pick a Vigar, you can punish it.
So, yeah.
They do pick the Tristana. The Triss is going to go mid, which means that Diana is going to go... into the jungle, leaving BYOB. I'm really hoping this mid player can play Cassie, and we're going to see some Cassio on stream because I know that Cassio absolutely destroys Tristana and shuts down the kit completely, as well as also taking a chunk out of Diana. But it'll be really interesting to see if they can play the Cassiopeia. Lysandra would also be a decent pickup here if they're trying to do more of that team comp front to back. Syndra can work well in this particular comp, or if the mid wants to get a little bit of spicy, even Ari, they do opt. Looks like they're going to take the Syndra, which fits into this comp, is able to punish the Tristana early, and when Tristana jumps in later on, she can ult the Trist away and not get the combo. So the Syndra makes really good sense into this one. The Kaisa could be a flex in mid as well, but I haven't really seen a lot of Kaisa mid players lately, and she's so easily ganked in the mid, especially with the Jarvan. True. So I mean, they could flex that mid, but we'll have to wait and see. I would guess the Tristana.
I'm pretty sure I'm betting on Tristana mid too. We actually did see that last week too, so that's why I'm thinking it's more the Tristana mid.
We do have predictions going up at this particular time. Now, remember, the new timer is 5 minutes under predictions, so get your predictions in, and we will see you in a couple of minutes on the rip.
I think we may have been a little bit...
Welcome back, boys and girls. Time for some action on the Rift. Looks like we're getting into some posturing. No invades, just a little 5-point action. Get a little ward down. Kind of sad. I was hoping we'd see something, but and nobody's got a really particular good invade on level 1 here.
Yeah, I was
What
about
if
to
you
say.
What had they picked the Nautilus? Could have happened, but unfortunately, Alistar is a little bit harder to pull off. Yeah, let's talk about the ADC's itemization here. I don't like the Dorm Blades. I'm not a big fan of that. We are going to see the Tristana mid, which we kind of talked about earlier with the Kaisa and the Alistar down below. What are you thinking for game 1? What are we gonna see here? All right.
Well, I think we need to see some early pressure from Jarvan. Diana, not really kind of good damage wise until first item, but Jarvan can put out a bit more damage even with just this. So I expect him probably for like the level. I mean, he can pull off a level 2 gank where Diana can't. So I expect a lot of early pressure from Jarvan. Okay. In the mid lane, I expect Kaisa. Not Kaisa. Wow. Syndra to be an absolute monster. I want this just on a bully. I want him to regret life. Okay. In the bottom lane, I don't really know. I don't actually know about how that's gonna go. That is a interesting one. I need to see what Jinx is gonna build before I can actually determine anything there. And in the top lane, I hate Set.
What's wrong with Set? What did Set do to you?
He pressed W. Press W, man. I hate him. He gets so low and just does so much damage. I don't understand it. It makes me scared and confused, and I don't like those feelings. So,
Well, sorry.
What are you thinking of? What do you? It's not your fault unless you made the champion. It's totally your fault, and I hate you. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's too much. Too much. Anyway,
it was an even trade. I do expect to see Jarvan. I would hope to expect to see Jarvan pull off an early gank. The fact that Ornn is already kind of pushed in topside and it is low, along with the set being low, I would expect Diana and Jarvan to be running over right now. We do actually see the Diana coming over right now at the start of the fight. Ornn needs to run. She did walk over the ward. The flash does come out, and then the flash from Ornn returns. So good trade on the flashes. Now we see the Jarvan moving in the position. I know bot now knows that both the top jungles are topside, and they know that they don't have any help if they want to pick a fight. We'll have to see how that plays off, but it does look like they'll walk away for the time being. So, I mean, getting back into the action, right? Not a big fan of the Doran's Blade.
Mid lane action, though.
Wait, posturing. Incoming.
Okay. So looks like Rel's gonna go in on the Kaisa. They'll try to turn this around, but the exhaust comes out of Alistar. So does the ignite. Kaisa flashes forward and immediately gets stunned. No auto attacks go down to Jinx. And Jinx just ghost out. So a lot of summoners used, a lot of health gone, but everybody seems to be fine. Syndra does flash out of that Tristana W just in case, which I can understand there. Oh, the flash headbutt coming from the Alistar. The Jinx does flash out. Kaisa is unable to get that kill. And Rel does block the Kaisa W, so that does not kill Jinx. And looks like bot lane for BYOB is just going to go ahead and go back. A lot of action right there. And looks like we got some more because it looks like Diana is kind of hovering around the mid lane. And looks like Alistar has spotted out Jarvan. He's going to do the Hex Flash. He flashes overhead, pulverizes in the headbutt. Diana combos in, and Jarvan is just going to walk out with a lot less HP. Going to go back. Looks like Diana is trying to pick up his Gromp, and Rel and Jinx are both here. Alistar gets stuck in the wall, but doesn't matter. Diana gets rooted. Jinx, Jarvan, and Rel are all on Diana, and that's first blood going over to BYOB. Now Syndra's here, and they're trying to pick up the Tristana who got caught with the Alistar. Alistar's dead here. Who's it going to though? It looks like it's gonna go to the convenient level up. Still Syndra, though.
A
Wow, that was a
lot
lot.
of chasing up there. A lot of summoners blown for that. And I think a little bit of a miscommunication there from the side of BYOB. When Jinx came around on his side there, Honey Badger actually backed off at half health rather than continuing with his Q to land his full combo. And instead opting to try to go back, and then he re-engaged after the fact. So think of a little bit of a misplay here. Ornhorn is going to come out. However, he is not able to secure on the set. So I think if the Jarvan goes there earlier, I think Jinx actually gets at least a double kill out of it rather than the Syndra. So good on BYOB to pick up 2. However, I think they probably could have gotten 3. I think it was a miscommunication on Jarvan's side. And even when the Syndra came over, everyone was kind of backing up at the last minute. So I'd be interested to see what kind of happened there. Maybe we can talk to them, or maybe we can talk to their coach later on. Who knows? But speaking of coaching, our sponsor today, which you don't see on the screen now, but you will see later on, is Coachify GG, is a new platform for esports coaches to track their students and grow their businesses with 0 commissions and free to join. It is a perfect tool for coaches who want to level up. And if you need a little coaching assistance, we do have a Discord channel where you can go in there and take a look at some Coachify coaches that are already in there. So looks like Jinx has opted to get Berserker Boots first item rather than completing, interesting choice, to get the Berserker with the Doran's Ring combination. I'm certainly like that too much. What about you, Og?
I mean, I don't like it, but it's something all 80 carries do now. I still don't understand it, but I'm also not Korean. So, yeah, take that sentence how you will. The Syndra stun does miss. Tristan is going to go in. Diana's here too. Alistar here too. Tries to flash out, but Syndra is going to go down to the hands of one hand. So that's the first kill going to Diana.
Oh, that was a huge bait from that Triss to set that up. Syndra started with the ultimate. The Triss jumps over after not taking most of the damage, and then a team there to just follow up and kill Syndra right after. So, oops.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. As soon as that stun missed, Tristana was just on Syndra. Yeah, that was really unfortunate for Syndra there. But teleport has been used for Syndra. That's getting pinged out for them. So a little action here in the top lane too. Set's picking his fight with Ornn. He's doing the usual Set things, uses W, and Ornn's just gonna walk out because that's what Ornn does. Meanwhile, Diana is gonna get started on this Rift Herald. Jarvan is topside, but I don't believe he has any idea that Diana is on it. They do have that what's it called? I'm gonna call it Pink Ward. Pink warded out. More damage coming from Set. You know, disgusting.
I like the Rel walking right up to Alistar just to land her and then walk away.
Yeah, this Rel has no fear here. And speaking of fear, I think Diana should be scared because Jarvan's on Diana. The Ornn horn happens, but nothing happens there. Wow, Cell ults, picks up Jarvan, takes him for a ride. Does pick up the kill, but Jarvan picks up the Diana. Ornn here is now just going to have this slap fight with him while Syndra comes up. Unfortunately, Set wins that slap fight because he used his fist. He's picked up by Syndra. Down the bot lane, Rel is going onto the Kai'Sa. It gets exhausted. Kai'Sa goes onto the Jinx. Exhausts Jinx, flashes into a bush, and gets that kill on Jinx. Rel flashes out, but Alistar's flashing with her. And that's another kill for Kai'Sa.
Yeah, the double kill on the Kai'Sa there is a little oof, especially with the Rel. She pushed in the Kai'Sa, and then Kai'Sa just ulted and jumped on top of Jinx, and Rel could do nothing about it. So Rel's got to play that one a little bit smoother. She needs to kind of wait until Alistar hits part of the combo and then go in. Otherwise, Kai'Sa could just avoid the Rel and jump on top of the Jinx, and it becomes a 2v1 because the Rel's got no way to get back in. So unfortunate the double kill going on in that Kai'Sa there. A lot of action in early game. 5-4. So we are seeing quite a bit of trading back and forth Obviously, Diana picked up the Herald early on. Jarvan responds with the Dragon, and here we go. Alistar's out of position. This cow is trying to run away. They are taking the cow down. Jinx able to get some ground beef, and Alistar is removed from the battlefield. I don't know what Alistar was still doing there. Dragon was had already gone down. I think he was grazing in the wrong area.
I just realized you couldn't hear me when what I said. My bad, man. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, Alistair goes down and Dragon goes down, and now everybody's just going back to their lanes because that was just a support, and that was a lot of work they had to put in for him. Just Jinx took the tower shot for no reason. Just really wanted to get that hit on that tower. Diana is in the bot lane too.
Diana, yeah, Diana was in position, and the Kai'Sa could have gone on top. I think the Kai'Sa was waiting another second for Alistar to show up. They could have taken that fight.
Diana is still here.
She's still here, and Alistar is knocked up. The Rel out of position. The Rel is going to die here in a second to the Kai'Sa. Nice play from the Alistar, not taking the kill from his ADC. Perhaps Soulkeeper should get some lessons on that. We'll have to see if he's paying attention or not.
I mean, he has to run a stream. I'm pretty sure he's paying attention. But that's not the point here. Also, Shade. Also, Jinx did ghost there at the end of that fight. Didn't need to, but chose to do that to run away. So, that is one of Jinx's escapes down. Also, all right, Jarvan's here in the top lane. Drops to... I mean, he's dead. Says dead.
They pulled
to you.
Both ults.
Saw what happened.
Yeah, they used both ults. Didn't need to, but the set does get removed from the battlefield. Meanwhile, Syndra did land her ult on Triss. Triss has barely got away. And now we're starting to see some chip damage there from the Jarvan combos. So Jarvan doing what he's supposed to do, getting early leads. Meanwhile, mid here comes the Triss again, jumping on top of the Syndra to tell her hi. Syndra went back to take another shot at the Triss.
It's safe. Syndra went back and got saved by Tristana.
That was interesting choice there. But yeah, Ice Merced does knock her away, saving the Syndra's life after Cedric tried to ask Tristana a question and got a little bit too close for comfort. Triss said bye.
Jester is definitely laughing at that. He has to be. That was hilarious. And speaking of something hilarious, two members to the 280 carries in this team both have static shiv, so they both picked up their first item. I mean, if you count Boots, second item for Tristana. Syndra's also picked up the first item in the Leandries, so that's the build that Syndra's chose to go for here, not the Luden's Echo. So that's an interesting choice. What do you think of that?
I know she's taking the Landry's for the set and the Alistar in mind. However, you're 2-1. You have a little bit of a lead on kills. You need that Ludens to make sure you're deleting the appropriate targets. That is not your job to be killing the set, but
that's what I agree with too, especially because they also put the Dark Steel. But we'll focus on in a second because there is another fight happening in the top lane, and it doesn't look like Seth's gonna win this one. Uses W, took a lot of damage there, and now is either trying to leave or bake this on into another fight. But let's see, nothing happens there. So they did do the mid lane switch. So that is the 280, the 80 carrying the support in the mid lane, and both mid laners are now bot. So we'll see how that goes from
already
there.
Poked down to a quarter of his health. I'd argue the Ludens right there would have put him at 10%, and she could have ulted and killed him immediately. But I digress. I hate seeing Leandries as an item on Syndra. So sad about this.
I know, that's
so sad.
I agree with you. You're not about to catch me disagreeing, but I don't know. I mean, especially because the whole point of the Jinx supposed to be that she can kill this set quickly. Isn't that supposed to be the whole point? Is tank Shredder Jinx?
Well, later on, but I mean, Ornn is doing percentage. Really, the Jarvan, typically speaking, goes Gore Drinker into Black Cleaver, and he'll be able to shred the armor as well. So yeah, I'm not digging that. And then especially if you're going Dark Seal, which is kind of when you go Dark Seal, you're saying, hey, I'm Big Daddy. I'm going to not die. But yeah, kind of. I'm not a big fan of that. But we'll have to kind of see. Plus, Alistar really isn't all that tanky. I know folks think he's a giant tank. He really isn't.
I know. I know. We all know that it comes from the ultimate. We all know that the damage reduction and all that noise. But the thing is, are we really worried about the Alistar being on the Jinx? I mean,
not really. I mean, yeah, you're worried about the Alistar getting to the Jinx, but I mean, there's enough there to where we shouldn't be on the Jinx to begin with. It's the Kai'Sa that you really have to worry about in that particular angst, and that pulls back into the why you want the Ludens there to begin with. But yeah, moving on. Let's discuss the Set Ornn battle slugfest up top. A little bit of posturing here. Ornn is going to charge through. Set is going to follow up with his combo, and again,
we're the dragon now.
We're going right back to the dragon. This time, they are not in position to even look like attempting, nor are they rushing to Herald. So it'll be interesting to see. Jarvan's kind of out of position here, and now you got 3 mid. They're going to get this tower to rotate straight into the Herald. I would imagine if they're not going to gank this set now, then they're going to have to pull back and kind of wait. Maybe we're going to see a big fight for the Herald. Although I still see Syndra.
Syndra's in the mid lane, but she does a TP. And Rel is walking into Diana, and just kind of walking away from Diana.
Rel at half-life, but relatively still in a decent shot. However, it does look like they're just going to give this Herald over and not fight. BYOB on this one. Not certain why there wasn't really urgency on that one. They had to know that was coming with where they were positioned at. So I'm kind of curious as to why. Not that big of a gold difference. It's not something you could take that fight pretty easily. Set was already half-life, but again, we see Diana. She's opted for Demonic Embrace as her first item, and obviously Set's one who got Blade of the Rune King. However, we do see Set getting caught out of position. He is able to flash, Cataclysm out, Horn out, Set knocked up in the air. However, the shield comes out. They weren't able to get enough damage. Ultimate on top. Ornn knocks him both in the air. Jarvan re-engages. Down goes the Set. However, now Jarvan is on the run, trying to get away. Diana is going to flash. The Syndra shows up and says, "This is my man. Get off my man." And Ornn says, "Thank you very much."
All right, I'll be honest. I thought that was going to go a lot differently than it did. I thought that they, honestly, kind of killed themselves when they went in on the set, like that. Like they committed to him. I thought it was a bad idea because the Diana was right there, but instead they actually managed to kill both of them. The Syndra did come running in from base, by the way, because that Syndra was all the way back there. She came into the lane. She ran down to get to assist him, but still, good job on the side of BYOB. That is kind of what they needed, but unfortunately, there's nothing for them to take from that, since they already lost the Rift Herald and the Dragon. So
yeah,
we'll see where
they didn't really lose anything in the process. So like Triss really didn't get much farm out of it. No one really was anywhere to kind of capitalize on it. So they were able to get that off relatively safe. Put another kill on Ornn, sadly, instead of the Syndra, which we would have liked to see got that particular kill. But again, BYOB is playing this a lot better than the first game last week, and positioned themselves accordingly. They do have lead on the Syndra. They do have lead on the Jarvan. The Ornn does have a small lead on the Set, and really the only one that's got a lead anywhere on the map for TABARNAK is the Kai'Sa. So we are seeing the Set being visited once again. Ornn out, Set up in the air. Set is going to ultimate on top. However, the Jarvan and the Ornn are going to get the Set down.
Wrong way.
He made a mistake. Rel Braum finds the Alistar. Alistar is going to punt him away. This is a 3v3. However, the Herald is going to come out, and the Syndra is just going to put a little bit of poke damage there and land her scatter to get the stun off. So Jarvan took a little bit more tower shots than I think he was thinking there. Herald is going
he
to
almost died.
get a little bit of damage in on this tower. I would have loved to see Jarvan's health bar there at the end. I think he was taking way too many tower shots than he thought he was going to have to take.
He was in the red. He was in the actual red. So yeah, he almost died to that. That's hilarious. As Tristana dead here. If you know what? If you had a Luden's Echo, that would have killed him.
If you had a Ludens!
Luden's Echo, that would have killed him.
Justin, we are going to tease you all evening about that particular setup, sir.
Hey, you know he's mad about it. You know he's mad. He's like, if I just had one more. Oh, never mind. That's not going to happen again. Let's just start to buy some MR right now because he picked the needlessly large rod.
We do see the rod getting completed there, but we do see the Nashers up for the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa now does have the static and Nashers done. If she gets any sort of time down, she will do some damage. So I know these guys have been targeting that set, but for the spite, do make sure you're counting for the Kai'Sa. You put too much attention on that set, and that Kai'Sa is going to eat you guys alive right now. She does not need a third item with this particular team. She will shred a good amount of that team with just those two items alone. We are seeing some posturing around here. The Trist has opted to push a little bit more and now putting in a position. However, key point Syndra is still top, and they know it. Set immediately goes in. Jarvan immediately cataclysms in the back, but that has no follow-up. The Kai'Sa is able to get the Jarvan down. The Wombo combo from the Diana is able to get them all clumped together. The kill onto the double kill onto the Ornn, and the Triss is just getting resets. And with the Kai'Sa and the Triss are able to clean it up with a triple kill on the Kai'Sa. Exactly what we were talking about there, Augite. Jarvan was able to get on top, but there was no follow-up damage. All the damage was on the tanks. No one really got to that Kai'Sa, and she just murdered everybody.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. I don't know if you saw it, but that was, except for maybe the Jarvan and going too deep on that, that was probably the most perfect fight they could have had for BYOB. They hit a 3-man rail ult. Jinx was able to lay down all the rocket damage, got the ultimate off, got everybody extremely low, but she just couldn't get that one kill. She kind of needed to start, snowballing in that fight. And then Tristana jumped on her and just it soloed her, basically. I don't know if you saw it.
The other part was the Syndra, right? The Syndra was teleported late and literally teleported on top of a Diana ultimate with the set on top of her into an Alistar knockup. So I don't like the fact that the Syndra was forced to teleport on top. I'm still farming. She should have had a much better entry point than she did. She needed to be there much sooner to get in that fight. They need her damage for this Tristan Kai'Sa, and unfortunately, costing the fight.
Yeah, I mean, until Tristana jumped on Jinx, Tristana was basically untouched in that fight. That was not what they wanted there. So we'll see if they can do anything with this Baron, because unfortunately Syndra finds Diana, and Diana is not going to let go of Syndra. Tristana's here too. Syndra's going down no matter what happens here.
Was that a Syndra find Diana, or was that a Diana find Syndra?
A Syndra walked into Diana. Unfortunately, face checked the bush, found Diana.
That's a gesture out of position. We'll have to see if they're going to make them pay for this or not. They are opted for a 3-1 at the moment, so they might look to get some poke damage in and start Baron, knowing that somebody has to answer that pressure from Set, or at least fake the Baron, and let Set get a tower in a little bit more. So pings have gone out. Triss is a little far from this, but Triss can leap over the wall. Meanwhile, Baron has already been started at 75%. Nobody's answering the Set still. And it looks like no one's going to answer the Baron.
They're sending Jinx to answer the Set. They're letting the Baron go uncontested, which, they kind of have to. But yeah, so that's Baron for all 5 members of CB TABARNAK. Am I saying that
Yeah,
right?
Tabernac,
TABARNAK. Thank you.
Tabernac, I think is the word you're looking there for, sir. Yeah. So unfortunately for BYOB, they were up 2K gold. Now with this these last two kind of fights with round they played, it's a big swing over in their favor. A little bit over 5K gold lead now for Tabernac. Now they have the Baron, and now we've got to have the Syndra in the team fight. They need to ball up. They need to ride this out. They're kind of their early leads that they had have kind of fallen by the wayside on some key members. Unfortunately, the Kaisa is 6-0 and almost her third item done. So she is going to be terrifying in these fights if they can't get to her. And then on top of that, you have Triss just resetting everywhere. So Tabernac, they need to just kind of siege with their Baron, and BYOB needs to kind of hold out and play safe.
Yeah, and speaking of what you said about the Syndra needing to be there, I'm confused as to why Syndra has not been here the whole time. I don't know why they're making Syndra their split pusher here.
Not exactly certain.
Yeah, like Syndra's crucial for these fights. Like, I'm not sure why Syndra is not here. They have Ornn. Why isn't Ornn doing this? Like, what? Like, I understand they took Tristana away from it too, because if they put Syndra up there with Set, I'm pretty sure Syndra's going to kill Set. But, I mean, they don't need Tristana in these fights. Tristana could honestly just stay pushing, and that'd just be fine with them. But BYOB needs Syndra. In fact, we have Syndra recalling right now. Tristana's gonna keep pushing. We'll see if Syndra finally comes back mid, or she's gonna go back top with Tristana.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Syndra play in the bush there and try to assassinate the Triss rather than recalling there to complete or get another rod going. I would have liked to kind of see her go for that assassin on Triss. Unfortunately, now they have two lanes pushing, and they've positioned themselves to go after the dragon here at the end of their Baron. So and I'm starting to see them rotate now into the dragon pit. Now that they've pushed these two lanes up, they can't go any further. So, not able to get a huge ton off the Baron. They are doing the death bush here. However, the Jinx rocket. I mean, they should see this, right? No way they just walk in. However, they're leaning over towards this dragon. This should be a free dragon. I can't imagine BYB is going to even attempt to fight for this. So this is going to give this over. It is number 3. It is going to be a Chem Soul. And here we go with the Jarvan now pushing out. Could have, maybe checked that bush, maybe? That would have been interesting.
Could have. Didn't. Just didn't. Unfortunate. Hate to see it. And speaking of hate to see, I don't hate to see anything towards itemization. I mean, itemization is pretty much what we expected coming in. Like you said, the what is it called? LDR, the upgrade for Last Whisper on the Jinx, trying to do as much damage as possible.
She did go the Lord Doms rather than going the IE route, because she went for the Typhoon, so she went for the upgraded Gale Force into the LDR build. Not a big fan of it. Also, Kaisa's opted for the Rage Blade. Kind of surprised to see the Rage Blade. I would have liked to seen more of the burst option for him. I mean, she's 6-0. I mean, she's got a ton of damage out there. Diana,
and I wanted to see more
Jack Show route, so she's gone more of the tank route, which is fine. Jarvan, I mean, he did take Death Stance. I would have liked to see the Black Cleaver out myself. Syndra is out of position. They come right around, and she goes down like the Titanic.
No, Titanic was a little bit more graceful.
Very true.
That was just unfortunate. Unfortunately, there is absolutely no war coverage for BYOB. Every ward they have put down has been destroyed. And so Syndra literally did not see that coming. Unfortunately, Jester just got caught out. It happens to the best of us.
Poor
So-
Chester, once again caught out. Had a good start, but unfortunately just has not been able to get much going after the initial start. Meanwhile, I mean, this is still Jinx we're talking about, right? At a certain point, Jinx rockets do just start deleting people with crit on there. So, Jinx is always, unfortunately, super strong. Meanwhile, Warhorn does not catch the Diana, and the Diana is able to leap and is able to get the Casamatic on top after she ults. However, here comes the Kaisa. The Kaisa is kiting and just watch the rockets come out, hit nothing for the Jinx, all on the Alistar. Now we see the Kaisa returning fire. However, she is able to kind of get away. So half health from BYOB, able to get the kill on Diana. It did cost him 3 ultimates.
We're not going to ignore that. That was 3 ultimate for
it kills
one
a kill.
person.
Kills a kill. All right. If they don't do any more fighting here,
3 ultimates and a summoner spell.
It'll be fine. It'll be all right.
3 ultimates and a summoner spell.
Meanwhile, they are positioning themselves, waiting to see what happens with this Baron. And BYOB says, "Hey, we got a 4v5. Not even though our ultimates aren't up. Let's go ahead and start the Baron."
There's only one ultimate up, and it is literally on Syndra. So she's got to pick one person who she doesn't want to play the game anymore. Also, none of them have a way over this wall except for Jarvan and Rail. So if they get caught in this pit, they're dead. They're trying to keep them out, but they're just going to walk in. Syndra flashes into a dangerous spot, presses the R button on to, I believe, set, and doesn't do anything from it. And unfortunately, like that fight, it kind of didn't matter because the Baron still gets picked up by TABARNAK. CBT still gets picked up by CBT. And they're just going to go ahead and end this game.
A BYOB with the absolute cojones to try that Baron and start that puppy. Meanwhile, Set just walks into the pit, 4-man ults on top of the Baron. Diana walks in, smites it, takes the Baron, Set kills the Jinx, and that's all she wrote in the first game. So this is very close for a good chunk of this game, and then just some interesting decisions, we'll call them, on the side of BYOB. They could have won that game. They should have won that game. But unfortunately,
I thought they were going to win that game. I'll be honest right here. Oh, that was unfortunate, but you know what? Let's give it up to Cell, and my smartphone's dead. They held that down. CBSL in that thing, bro.
Great performance from the Kaisa. Good performance from the Trist. Really, Diana actually did get punished a couple times early, but I mean, she was able to just land a couple of key 3 to 4-man ults, just paired with the Alistar in the set, and just able to pump out the damage onto BYOB's team. So. Very winnable from BYOB's side. Like I said, a couple key mistakes. Syndra should have been earlier to a fight, and then she got caught twice. And unfortunately, the crazy the Baron play there at the end. But hey, it's a Monday night. BYOB is swinging for the fences. TABARNAK says, "You want to swing for the fences? We're going to pull a Mike Tyson and just hit you and hit you and hit you until you fall down." So. As Mike Tyson used to always say, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And unfortunate for BYOB, they were the recipients of the punching to the face.
Yeah. That was a good metaphor, man. Unfortunately, when you get hit in the face that hard, you just tend to get knocked out. That's pretty much what happened in this game. They pretty much got knocked out. So let's hope they don't stay down, though. Let's hope they get back up for game 2, and hopefully they can bring it back, make it a 1-1 instead of a 2-0.
That's right. We have a second game this evening, guys, and it is if BYOB does what they did last week and plays better the second game, I would expect them to get out a victory here and get at least a little bit of control back here. A tie makes things very interesting as far as seeding goes. A loss will secure Tabernac second place with Baron Buddies having first place. So be really interested to see this next game. I want the tie just because that means Soulkeeper and Vish will have to do some math for the tiebreaker. And I do so love to see Soulkeeper and Vish doing math. I find it entertaining. And I'll just have to hope for the best here and see if we can get BYOB to get a victory here. So I'm looking forward to our second game. We're going to go ahead here and take a quick break before draft. Or are we ready for draft? No, looks like we're ready for draft. We're going straight into draft. No break for us.
We going straight into draft? Oh, wow. Okay. They said we're ready now.
They said, let's go.
All right, then. Let's go ahead. And as soon as there we go. Okay.
I've been corrected. I've been told that Soulkeeper does not do any math anymore. He just does AI programming, and Vish just does Google Docs to calculate. So, but he is still bad at English.
That's a what? Is that your consolation prize?
Yes, that's what I'm going with. But he said it.
All right then. He also says it's a 6th language.
It is. Well, because as you realize he's a coder. Never mind. I'm not going to go into geek talk, but yes. That makes sense. That tracks. He's a C+ and C# man.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So setting up for this draft, I would like to see a little bit more, I would say, urgency from BYOB and getting themselves a good lead. They seem to play a lot better if they get a bigger lead. So like to see mid Jester get on something. He looked a little uncomfortable at times on that Syndra. Didn't know where to be on that mage. Maybe get him on something more roaming and kill oriented, an assassin maybe. To get Jester going. They play a lot better when he's got a lead and is playing around. Playing around him. I mean, I don't know.
He plays.
I don't know about first picking a Zed.
I didn't say first picking. Please don't first pick Zed. I'm so, well. Know what? No, what? Actually, do it. No balls. Do it.
Wow, on stream, just called it out like that. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
You're not disagreeing, though.
No.
Exactly.
I first pick Cassie mid because I'm like, whatever, I'll play it into anything. You don't want to first pick a Zed. You get punished for that so hard.
Dang, dude, you calling them cowards?
I'm just saying.
Saying he couldn't handle it?
I'm just saying there are better priority picks when you're blue rather than trying to first pick this man or Zed.
Yes. For people, no balls, yeah. Whatever, I probably won't get on one anyway. No surprise, it's like Christmas. So what do you expect to see banned here? You think they're gonna change the bans, or you think we'll see the exact same bans?
I think Tabernac keeps the same bans. They might ban out the Ornn or the Jarvan. I mean, it was played pretty good. That combination down up top. Really, Jarvan played around his top, and he played a little bit towards mid early on. I didn't really see him get all that many ganks down below before the lane switch. He really didn't really give bot any love. And as we all know, Soul Keeper and Momo would say that bot should get all the love and you should ignore the top. However, we know that's not always the case. But yeah, I would expect to see same bans from TABARNAK side. From BYOB side, I might look at if they're not prioritizing getting rid of the ADCs, maybe ban the mid more. But we do see the Ash ban, we do see Pantheon ban. Still the Yasuo ban, respect for the mid laner on the Yasuo and then the Maokai. Surprised I haven't seen. I see the Udyr ban. The Ivern is actually more scary to me than the Udyr, so I'm kind of surprised that the Ivern hasn't been banned out yet. And then obviously the Malphite is being banned out. So we do see Mumu coming out immediately from BYOB. This could be a support Mumu. So just starting out there, could be a support Mumu, could be a jungle Mumu. We do see again the Kaisa. Kind of surprised that Kaisa didn't elect the ban this time. He looked really, really good on the Kaisa. We do see the Viego coming out. So a little bit more of some spicier picks coming out from CB side. They got the Viego, they got the Kaisa, we got a Mumu. Are we going to see a Nautilus Samira combo to go along with this Mumu? You've got the opportunity to pick it now, and you do have a Kaisa. We do see the MF picked up, which is another great combo. Goes into a good wombo combo with the Mumu, and then the Nautilus. So I kind of expected either the Misfortune or the Samira, and then with the Nautilus here, this is the sad bullet into the Nautilus, cut you off and take all your kills. We'll have to see how many kill steals the Nautilus gets at the end. Of course, Soul will tell you he was just cutting him off.
Okay, man.
And then the Alistar coming back out. Once again, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
So we kind of got the same kind of setup. BYOB has got a little bit more of a front to back setup on this one. I would expect a bunch of targeted bans in mid coming back out, right out with the Annie. Yeah, you definitely don't want to see Annie in this particular combo. However, it still does leave over this leave the Syndra open, which can also fit into this, or Lysandra if the mid player opts into that one, or Cassie. Cassiopeia. She fits.
Cassiopeia. Yeah.
She fits into this combo very well. I'm just saying, I have yet to see the Snake Lady played, and as a lover of the Snake Lady, I would like to see her played at least once on stream. Come on, somebody give me a Cassie. We do see the Zed banned out, and we do see the Mord, and then a Scion ban from the top. This still does leave the Ornn combo in for them. And for CB side, it gets a little bit more interesting here. They do opt to take the Gragas. Interesting. So Gragas can be played top, Gragas can be played mid, Gragas can be played jungle. Typically, Viego is either going to be a top or jungle, although I have seen a couple people running Viego mid, or as my old coach would say, heathens play Viego mid. So
okay, I was going to say it too once you were done talking, by the way. I'm sorry, you shouldn't do it. You know what? We'll come to this another time. We'll talk about this later. But you shouldn't do it. Veigar picked up. Veigar Ornn. Veigar Ornn. So, Veigar Ornn.
I am seeing a bunch of CC, big front to back fight, huge wombo potential here. The Mumu ults, or the Nautilus Q, I should say, into the Mumu Q, into the ults, into the box, into the bullet time of death. So very good wombo combo. Big boy tankies up front. Are we going to see anything more spicy? We do see the Trist coming back out. Now, Trist and Viger is a different story than the Trist into Syndra. Trist actually can bully the Viger pretty early on. Viger can get punished by that. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Predictions are open for the last remaining game of the evening, last week of the regular season for this particular segment. So get your predictions in, bet all your points. I need some points back. So please bet them all. I need a desperate win. Please. I have children to feed, puppies to feed, cats to feed. I need your points. Please give them to me now. Final thoughts, Hog. Who you got? Who you taking in this one?
I'm actually not sure. I think I'm I'm probably gonna go for TD. I'm CBT. Excuse me. Wait, am I gonna go for TD? I actually don't know. TD's looking good. TD's team is looking good. I question the Vagar. I do question the Vagar. I think Cassiopeia would have been a better fit. Just looking at the team, if we're going for the whole Wombo combo thing, I thought Cassiopeia could have been a better choice here. But Vagar is also good. Not as good as Cassiopeia, but still good. Tristana, Kaisa is back, and we saw how that worked out last time for them. So I kind of want to lean towards, what worked last time. So I don't know. I think I'm going to abstain on this one. I'm gonna hold my points. I'm gonna hold my points and just stay rich. I'm not trying to get richer. I'm just gonna stay rich.
Fair enough. Well, BYOB coming out with a very, very strong comp. I agree with you, but I am a Cassie player. So of course, I'm going to say Cassie works better in this comp than a Vigar does, simply because, again, the Cass can block the Tristana, the Cassie blocks the Viego, the Cassie blocks the Alistar, and so really just kind of ruins their whole combo, plus the initial fallout from the Mumu, the Misfortune, and Anomalous. But it doesn't mean that Vigar doesn't work in this particular combo. It just means that Vigar is going to be prone to being punished by that Tristana very early on, especially at that Viego's top and that Gragas is the jungle. However, I'm not certain how I feel about that one. If the Gragas is going to be the top and the Viego's going to be the jungle, or if they're going to run the Viego top and the Gragas. Probably I would expect the Gragas up at the top at this point, simply because it's a better matchup versus the Ornn than putting the Viego into the Ornn. So I would kind of expect to see that happen. Unfortunately, there is no more time for Cassio. I'm not going to see a cast tonight. I'm so sad. But I do like BYOB's adaptation. I think they've got a very, very strong team fight. TABARNAK, it's all about the Viego. Can the Viego get the resets with a Vigar, with an Ornn in there, with that Nautilus and Mumu? Can they get and punish this Misfortune through all that layered CC to get the resets? That's a really, really tall task that TABARNAK has there. I think the team fights does favor TD in this particular fight. But you don't win a game if you don't play. So you got to play the game to win, right? So it's all about execution. CB's already executed. Has already said they can win that style. So can they do it 2 times in a row tonight? All right, so we'll go ahead here and take our last break before we get in the last game of the evening, and we'll see you on a Rift in a couple minutes.
Yep, right back. Hey, we back.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2, BYOB versus CB, the battle for second place. And my stats folk went to work for us in the back end during the break and have told me that if CB wins this game and EKG wins their games, we will now have battle for fourth place on the line because then it'll be a tie. But they have to win out, and if BYOB loses, then we'll have that tie. And there'll be a battle for third place or fourth place. So, more consequences for this one. If that means a tie either way, and we're going to have some fun shenanigans. If they tie tonight, they'll have to play a tiebreaker next week. And if they lose tonight and the other team wins 2 games, then there'll be another tiebreaker game. So I'm hoping either one of those things occurs and we get some sort of tiebreaker game next week for giggles, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, we got some 5-point action here. Tell me, my man, okay, what do we got? What do you want to see this last game tonight?
All right. So that's just let's clear some things that we were talking about in the draft lobby. That is a Viego jungle. That is a Gragas top lane that started with Doran's Ring, and Epstein is in the mid lane. All right, so we cleared that up. Now, what I expect this Mumu to either get fed or to famine. I don't like this. There's only 2 ways for this to go. A Mumu's either gonna get really big in here real quick and be a problem, or Viego's gonna get really big here and just be an absolute problem. Also, Doran's Blade again for both 80 carries.
Yeah, I'm sad about those Doran's rings here. Same as you, unfortunately. And even sadder is the fact that Vigar has opted to start Doran's Ring with teleport rather than going directly rushing for Lost Chapter. So I'm not a big fan of doing a Doran's build first on Vigar myself for mid, but unfortunately he's taking Doran's Ring.
He's also going first strike.
So first strike Vigar is become more popular, but typically if you go the first strike route, what you do is you take Futures Market and you rush Lost Chapter on your first teleport, so you come back to the lane, much like the old Malzahar build, where you would blow all your mana really quickly and then use your Futures Market tech to basically get back to lane really quick with the Lost Chapter. You would do the same thing with a Vigar, which is why I don't like this particular approach. Vigar does land a good box here, but again, as we talked about during the pregame, Triss is going to bully that early on. It can really punish the Vigar and make it harder for the Vigar to stack, which is why you want the Lost Chapter, because then you can stay further back and farm Q and just stay back safely tucked away in your tower and pray the Mumu ganks. We will see the Ornn knock the Gragas in the air. Gragas is out of mana, but that'll be all that happens. Another box from the Vigar, and then the Mumu was coming in on the backside that the Triss just jumped out. This is where Cassio would have been nice because you would have had the miasma. Triss is unable to jump. Q lands from the Mumu and the Triss dies, but I digress. What can I say?
I'll be honest, I'm surprised that Mumu still didn't thought the bandage and try to force the flash. He wasn't that close to tower range. He could have forced that flash with the bandage toss, or at least the cleanse. But
he did stay around. Okay. He looks like he had to regank, but unfortunately, with the Triss, when you're playing that matchup, you have to wait for Triss to come into you when he wants to do his harass, and then you punish, not before. So unfortunately, not get much action there. However, do see some posturing bot.
Oh yeah, we do see that. I was gonna say he did spin the block like you said, but he also popped his flash to do that. So I'm not really sure.
Sadly.
Yeah, that was worth it. Mumu is just doing this. He has chosen just to go ahead and do his jungle. He is clearing out everything there. Finally taking his Raptors. The bot lane. It looks like they're gonna head back for BYOB. Not surprising. Misfortune does have first strike, so she probably does have a little bit more gold she can spend, and she's choosing to go ahead and get the serrated Dirk. So coming back into lane, didn't miss too much. Not down, only down 9 CS. Can probably make that back with the next couple waves. So not a big deal there for her. Meanwhile, like you said, Tristana's being a jerk to Vagar. Vagar's pushing really hard though, so leaving himself open for the Viego if Viego comes through, which it looks like he is
Yeah,
going to come
he's
through.
gonna get real punished for this real quick if he's not careful. We do see him able to get away there, although the Viego might choose to chase or at least hold the lane and let the Trist push, which looks like is what does happen. And Vigar able to lose CS and go all the way around. So we'll have to pay careful watch on that. But meanwhile, down bot, getting a little frisky here, little poke from the Kaisa onto the Nautilus. But again, it is a Nautilus. It's fine.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, they're playing it real safe down there on the side of Tabernacle. Oh, never mind that. Tristana is going in, and she got her full damage off on Vagar there.
Yeah, Vagar missed his box, and Triss did a good job just kind of waiting, and then the second the box went down, went and punished it because Vagar stayed in lane. We just see a little bit more trade up top from the Ornn and the Gragas. I would expect this to hold out for a while. We're not getting kill pressure yet, although the Mumu might come sneak around here. We do see the Mumu coming. I'm not certain the Gragas knows that. Oh, but if the Mumu had continued, he would have gotten it. But the Mumu is going in and looking around, taking Johns around the jungle, if you will, seeing if there's anything there he could take from the Viego, and posturing himself to maybe land a bandage on the Tristana. We'll have to see if the Tristana gets in range of this. Looks like they are backing off, and they're.
Speaking of posturing, though, this is a desperate stuff.
Wait for it.
Everybody is here. Viego is here. Alice is here. Kaiser's here, and that's first blood for the Kaiser. That was unfortunate. They saw him in the mid lane. They set up in that bush and waited for him to pass through, and he did. So we'll see if they transition the dragon off this or if they'll harass the Mumu. Let's see what.
100%. They should. 100%. They're gonna transfer. Maybe set up, but they should do that. No, they ought not to. Instead, it looks like they just go back to because the lane was already pushed to the tower. Yeah, that's 2.5 waves of CS. I can see the Kaisa saying, let me get this and we can reset. I'll probably still get the dragon pretty easy. So good first blood from the Kaisa. Once again, able to get that kill on there. If I was in that position, unfortunately, Nautilus, you probably should have gone a long way around, but no one told you, Rex, that they were waiting in that bush for you. So sorry about your life there, bud. But you're a support main. That's what happens.
Yeah, he knows. He's not down about it. Probably just like, I can't believe that happened. Anyways, they're putting the chase on the Kaiser here because the Mumu's here. And also, we're back in the mid lane. No, Tristana jumped into the box, didn't get stunned, and proceeded to put the damage on the move. That is, I think, 75% of his health gone. Yeah, that just happened. And meanwhile, the slap fight up in top lane is still continuing. Gragas is being a public menace, just being a drunk.
And Viego has started Herald, meanwhile, with good positioning there. Ornn able to jump in, and the Alistar is going to knock the Nautilus into the air. Get a little bit of chip damage on here, but it is a Nautilus, so it's fine.
That was the heal used by Misfortune.
It was, and the Mumu ult will land on top. The damage coming out from the MF. Is she going to get the cow? No, the Mumu E. How in the Mumu then goes into the tower with the bandage, and the MF is able to get that kill. So, good on the bottom. MF was a little bit hasty on her ult. However, the Mumu was able to
Q on that one
and get that one started. So they are kind of low. I don't know if they're going to try to push in and start it. However, slap fight continues up top. We do see the Q land from the Nautilus. They are going to jump on top of the Viego. The bandage misses. However, the box follows up. The Viego able to get a reset. The Nautilus Q follows from the Viego. However, the Vigar is able to secure the kill. So interestingly enough there, Mumu opted to go for the Tristana missed the Q, and because of that, the Viego was able to kill the Nautilus. But meanwhile, here we go, caught out. The Alistar getting the kill on the Vigar. He went the wrong way around and got punished for that accordingly. So a kill right back to tie.
He didn't just go the wrong way around. He, for some reason, he just stuck around. He just I don't know why he did that. He just stuck around. He saw Alistair there. He shot out in the box. It wasn't in a good position, and Alistair just got the jump on him. Now let's see if Tristana is going to die here because of it.
Tristana doesn't have any, but the Mumu backed off. The Mumu was pretty low too, and the Nautilus was unable to secure the kill on that one. So
yeah, no point in him doing that. He's not going to kill her as quickly. But he did get the cleanse out of it.
But the bigger problem now is they could push because the Nautilus is not here to protect the MF. So they do push to the tower real quick. But MF is able to recover, not lose any CS there. So again, MF opting for the Berserker Grieve start. Somebody smarter than me is going to have to explain that one to me because that one's not making much sense to me.
When they explain it to you, tell it to me because I'm confused too.
I'm not understanding. Meanwhile, the Kaisa does have the static shiv completed along with Tristana. Once again, the double static option coming out, and we do see a little cheeky posturing there, waiting to see if Vigar or Nautilus walks up to ward. We'll have to see if they can catch one out, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they might have. But the Nautilus walked up, so they weren't able to go on there. Meanwhile, up top, still a slapfest. Herald is going to be summoned in mid. Tristana is able to get a lot of damage onto the Vigar pretty quickly and avoid. Nautilus able to land a Q bandage on top of the Vigar, on top of Viego, knock him into the air. Stun coming out to secure the kill. Nautilus securing the kill because that's what you want to see is a Nautilus taking the kills because it's a Nautilus.
Yeah, man, he needs to be able to carry. He's a big dude. He needs to carry. Also, shout out to Google Maps because that is hilarious. The boots let you get your team faster. That is hilarious.
The Horn coming out. The Nautilus is going to land his Q stun. The Mumu is there, all on the cow. Meanwhile, the Kaisa is on the poor MF who really needs her team to help. There she goes. Bullet time is out. Able to secure the kill on top of that Kaisa. Finally, they came back to help her. 3 people were chasing a cow while the Kaisa was killing the MF. They turned around and were able to get the Kaisa off the MF.
I wish we could have heard the comms on that one.
I'm certain that would have been hysterical. Meanwhile, Tristana, doing Tristana things, is going to secure first tower and then leap over the wall, walk away, wave at Nautilus in the process. I'm just pointing out, if it had been a snake, she could have miasma'd, and then the Nautilus
it could have been a kill.
Yeah, it would have been a kill. But what do I know? Yeah, and another thing is, you can't buy boots first on casts, right?
It's true. It's true. You don't have to worry about boots on cast. She just gets faster naturally, right?
Sadly. Also, Vigar has opted for the Everfrost option on the Vigar. I'm not a big fan of this particular option. When you already have this much CC, I would have preferred the Ludens for more damage. But it is what it is. We can all hope and dream. Viego is going to find the Ornn. Not certain he wants to find and take this particular fight with Ornn. I don't think he realizes this, but Ornn can ult him. However, no ult from the Ornn, and the Ornn is forced to flash away.
Yeah. Well, he didn't have to worry about that because Ornn uses ult.
Ornn didn't want to fight.
Yeah. Turns out he shouldn't have picked the fight, but dude didn't want to fight him, so it was all good.
Google Maps has informed me that cast just auto ends, no inputs required. That depends a lot on your cast's team. That's what I'm going with for this particular one. Meanwhile, BYOB does start and secure that particular dragon. Ornhorn is out on Trist, who's getting another tower, and then is going to get knocked up. However, the Viego is on top. The box does land on Viego, but misses the Trist. MF is able to secure on the Trist. The Viego is running for his life. He has opted to go sneaky way. Oh, I like this approach. He does ultimate over the wall, however, into the waiting arms of the Misfortunes. So a little cheeky play from the Diego. Unfortunately, it backfired.
Hold on 1 second. Crockpot, I want to go on the record that I saw you. You hit that plant and you blew yourself back. The camera, you think the camera didn't see, but we saw you. We saw it. I saw what you did.
I wasn't
Anyway,
gonna call
go ahead.
him. I wasn't gonna call him out on that one. He did get 2 kills. He's 4-0. I wasn't gonna go that route. Croc, you do you.
This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time. He's already ahead. I can't tear him down, like unless he loses, which is unfortunately looking like it could happen. They got a lot of objective control on the side of TABARNAK right now. Tristana has killed 2 towers with no one opposing her. They are getting this Rift Herald though.
Rift Herald is secure, and that does have a 4-0 lead. About a little over a 2.5 gold lead on the side of TABARNAK. So even though they're down in kills, they do have the gold lead. The Trist is a tower bully and is just punishing the Vigar. However, it is a Vigar. Scale all the way infinite with his abilities. So
yeah,
it's to the point where he'll just delete somebody.
I mean, there'll be a point where Vagar could throw 1 Q and, just take half of Tristana's health. Or all of it, depending if Tristan has any MR. It buys any MR, I mean. Because I'm pretty sure he's running MR.
Yep, interestingly, the Gragas has also opted for the Everfrost build and not the Jack Show build, which is a very interesting choice on a top Gragas to go Everfrost. Typically don't expect to see that build coming out of a top Gragas anymore, but I'll have to hold to see how useful that becomes.
I mean, as long as it lands, it deals. I'm not even totally against that. I think it's weird. But it gives him HP, it gives him mana, and it gives him another CC. So you can't be too mad at it. Don't get me wrong. If he's going full tank, Jack Shows is definitely the better pick. But
yeah, but he's going more the damage build, the AP damage build. I'm just not a big fan of it because you really don't need you don't have a tank. Like Alistar is a half tank. Viego is not building tank at all. You have no front line if your Gragas is building AP. You are literally just trying to kill somebody, and that's it. And with all the CC that they have, BYOB, I'm not that certain that that's the route you want to go. I understand it, but yeah. So again, here on the top side, out of position, here we go. This man is going to need a beer. Ornhorn comes out. Mumu comes out. Gragas is on the run, but he's chugging like a madman. Unfortunately for him, just can't chug enough to get away from the Mumu. But the Viego is waiting in the wings. What is Orn doing? Orn just left his body. So Viego stops the chase, and Mumu walks around a corner expecting Orn to help. But Orn says, "Nah, bro, I'm buying. I'm out."
He tells you teleported bot.
I'm gonna TP bot,
teleported bot to try to save Vagar because we didn't see it, but Vagar and Tristana were having a fight, and Vagar looked like Vagar was gonna lose. So he tried to teleport bot to save Vagar, but Vagar killed Tristana. So he just ended up looking like he was just leaving. I don't know why. That was hilarious. The VOD is gonna be hilarious. That's all. That was great. Meanwhile, okay, so because he teleported to that lane, he didn't go back, so he's gonna try to take this tower before anyone stops him.
He's gonna take the tower. That's fine, right? Right? Dragon's fixing them to come up. Let's just get this tower. Hey guys, I'm already here, so let's go fight. Box does come out. Gragas is caught. Everfrost comes out, lands. Gragas is trying to run for his life. Tristana is gonna walk away. Orn is like, I can take both of you. I don't care. Why? Because I have Jack Show, and I'm an actual tank. We do see them trying to re-engage. Alistar is here. The box coming out way too prematurely from the Vigar. However, half his life is removed, and then the ultimate will secure the kill on the Viger. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. You don't really have a front line. You don't have a tank. You're all about the kills. The Ornhorn comes out. The Q lands from the Nautilus. Up into the air, the cow goes. The cow punts him forward. However, the flash from the MF with the bullet time into Gragas. So Gragas is going to be deleted. MF says, I don't care. I'm going to flash to kill. And the dragon is being started. So BYOB much better position this time. And again, like we were talking about, no real tank, but the Gragas going AP means that you're just diving in for kills. And if you can't secure those kills because there's tanks on the other side, then you're not able to get much done. So unfortunately for Tabarnak, they put themselves in a really, really bad spot 20 minutes in. Calls are going out for Baron. I do love me an early Baron. However, your ADC kind of needs to be there. And MF hasn't gotten a memo that she needs to be a part of this party. And they are starting the Baron. However, now, because the MF was a little bit late, now you get a better chance of Viego might be able to do something crazy here. It doesn't have good vision. They are going to have to walk around and peel from the side if they want to get into this. Or Viego's going to have to blind it. Viego does ultimate over the wall. However, he is met with a Mumu who does win the fight smite fight. And then they're just going to walk away. So BYOB, good control of Baron there. A little bit of a risky play. But they are able to secure the 21-minute Baron, which I'm very happy to see BYOB being so assertive and taking it early. So they do have managed to get themselves back a gold lead, which you would expect a little bit more of a gold lead from 12-4 with the first Baron. But however, they just have a little bit over 500 lead at the moment. So as we talked about last time, BYOB much stronger this game. They got a much better team fight. I like what they're seeing better from their decisions. And now we just need to kind of wait and see what's going to happen here. We do see the MF opting for the Collector as her second item. I really like the Collector as a second item on MF, able to really punish with her ultimate and secure those kills. So Tabernak's got a tall task here. They got a huge wombo combo on the other side, and you're kind of playing around where you want the Viego to get resets, you want the Triss to get resets, but you're relying on an Alistar and an AP Gragas to kind of set things up. So this is a very hard combination they need to pull off. And here we can see the Alistar is going to get caught. The Kaisa is going to dive back over on the other side. Ornhorn coming out on top is going to knock up two. The Calling is coming out. Collector comes and gets the Kaisa. However, the Alistar does kill the MF, and then it goes down. So the MF is able to secure a double kill on top with the Collector, and then the poor little Bacon Man is able to get the kill onto the MF. So BYOB down there, MF, but don't care. 4-man, gonna ult on top. Good call. Cleanse coming out. However, the Tristana is not going to go down. The Triss is able to cleanse and get away. The tower damage is just going to town. Viger was not there because Jester was just poor little Viger doing the tower, wondering where his team went. His team decided to go through 2 towers for that Triss. And that Triss is able to still survive. So a little bit of an interesting decision-making there, guys. Little greed. Over just securing the towers. I mean, up top we still have 2 towers left. But yeah. A little bit of an interesting action though. But again, I do like what I'm seeing from BYOB. Much better team fighting the second game.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like watching a completely different team, to be honest with you. The fights they're picking now are definitely the same fights they were picking in the first game. And I'm almost proud of them for it. I'm almost proud of them. And honestly, I don't see anything that can go wrong here for them unless they just pick the worst fight ever. Because they need to work around their whole front line for CBT to do anything. And
all they gotta do is push.
MF last fight.
Yeah, all they gotta do is push and stay as a 5-man, and CB really does not have a comp built to do a 5v5. Like that's just it. They just need to keep team fighting. They can't team fight with them. They know they have the stronger team fight. They know they have to kill, even if they kill the MF, Alistar is caught out of position. He looks like he was trying to recall and thought he was going to get away from it. And Veigar said he likes his steak bloody red and will collect that particular kill. So now you chase Viego, or are you going back into... meanwhile, the Amumu does go in, picks a fight with the Tristana, and then walks away because the team is still mid. Interesting. Interesting call.
I ain't gonna lie, look, you think he could have won that fight?
They will start the dragon.
Oh, well, he has no thorn mail. No, he couldn't have won that fight. Never mind.
They will start it. They will back away. CBT realizing they can't realistically challenge for this dragon. So Viego is taking some jungle, but I think he walked over Ward, and I think they know that he's been spotted out. So I think they're all running over there now to try to see if they can get a piece of this action. So Ornhorn does come out. Viego is able to walk away.
For some reason in the front.
MF went way ahead. Viego does ultimate over the wall. However, he ults into the MF, waiting his arm to MF's teammates. And now the Viego is fighting against the Mumu and the Nautilus. The Gragas does walk away from the Ornhorn, and MF does. However, now the Veigar is fighting the Kaisa. The Veigar box misses. The Kaisa ultimate comes out. Misses every combo. All he's got to do is ultimate, and he does get that. However, the Trista is there to follow out. So even though Veigar missed a combo, he is able to secure the kill. Now Gragas is on the run. Ultimate out from Amumu. Q strike landing from the Nautilus, and the Nautilus securing the kill onto the Gragas because he's just cutting him off.
Those are 3 tanks. And they just murdered that man. This is why Sunfire Kid got nerfed. I'm just saying it right now. Anyway. Yeah, those were great fights, except for that one in the bot lane with the Veigar. He missed everything, except for the one button that he literally can't miss.
Still got the kill. So I mean,
that's the only button that matters.
You lost your life, but you still killed it. So you still got one. So you take those. You take those.
See, he unfortunately could have killed it without the ultimate if he landed everything.
If he landed it, and then he could have killed the Tress. But yeah, unfortunately, Kaisa got a little squirrely there. Did some dodging around there, and was able to kind of dodge most of it. So unfortunately, that's what happens when you play Vicar. You don't land your box right, and weird things happen. So. We are seeing BYOB come right back into the Baron pit. Will secure. It'll be interesting. They are on top of a ward. I'm not certain they realize that yet. Now they do. That they've kind of inadvertently were already called out. So they know that. They're just going to walk away. I'm not certain. I get it. They're going to try to push mid up real quick and see if they can't get him and reposition and walk back. But you now are allowing the Alistar to kind of walk in and reward, and your sweeper is on cooldown. So able to get it because you couldn't get the pink ward, and they'll immediately start Baron. And CBT is kind of an interesting spot. Viego recalled. He's nowhere near. So you don't really have anything here other than the Gragas ult to maybe have a shot. However, BYOB able to secure the second Baron. This has been a much cleaner game coming from them. Ornhorn comes out on the Beef Man. Alistar is caught. Q box comes out, lands. Beef Boy going down, and it'll be MF having her slab of steak, medium rare, and the push continues with Baron. So Alistar caught out there by himself in no man's land. He's kind of playing the position of he's the only real tank they have. And so this tower will fall. We'll have to see how much more they're going to get out of it if they're going to try to push anything. But for the moment, they do land a Q on top of the Gragas. Gragas already at health life. He goes back onto, but the box misses from the Veigar, and he'll able to secure his life. Viego is running in the backside and is jumping over walls. I don't know what happened there. I kind of wish I had seen that. However, we'll see the towers going down. These boys are going to have to fight soon. That second tower is going to go down. It is now fight for the game, boys. Bullet time coming out. Bullet time collecting kills. Double kill onto the MF. Viego is going crazy, though. They weren't able to get him. Triple kill by the MF, and now the reset's coming out from Viego. This is exactly what they needed. Triple kill onto Tristana. Kaisa able to shut down the MF. And CBT able to get those resets from the Viego, from the Triss, win a team fight to save the Nexus.
Yeah, not gonna lie, a little. I think BYOB here got a little excited, and they tried to rush this when they didn't need to. Like they could have honestly backed up, got the first tier tower, top lane, same thing with bot lane. Could have got those towers and picked up Dragon again, and they could have just actually sieged in. Because again, they can't fight them unless you do something like that. Like that was very disorganized from them, and they paid the price. But hopefully they won't pay too big one because I think Dragon's about to come up and they may be there in time for it.
Dragon is up. It'll be interesting if they opt to rush it and pick a fight real quick, or if they're going to opt to just give this Dragon over since it is CBT's first, and see if they're going to push out another lane. Interesting enough, they didn't send anybody top, so I would expect them to maybe cut over and start pushing bot lane with mid already pushing. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Ornn is already caught out of position. Ornhorn is going to come out, is going to land on 2. Kaisa is going to run away. However, Beef Boy is caught, and now the rest of the team is on top. The Kaisa goes down. Beef Boy fighting for his life. Viger is here. Viger does not kill the Alistar. There we go. Alistar is down. Gragas running for his life. MF able to secure the kill. It's a little bit of an insane sloppy fight. However, they are opting to push mid. They're not even going to push this tower. What are they doing? Just push. What are you guys doing? You teleport. Viger teleports back to middle lane. I don't understand. What is going on? So they are going to push into the Nexus. The poor Nautilus gets deleted. The Viego gets the reset on top. He does get the second reset, however. The Viger does land and able to secure the kill. Triss trying to fight for his life. However, he is not able to fight through the tanks. BYOB just made this interesting by securing the Nexus, ending this game, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie for second place.
Well, one of y'all is going to be third.
Wow.
You knew that, and now it's pretty much assured. Okay then. Wow. Those last moments were chaotic
Ending to the game. Thought it was over. They took an interesting fight, ignored the Viego, died, gave up Dragon, started pushing bot, caught 2 people out of position, finished those 2 off, and then teleport back to mid when they were already in the similar position. Bot, and then ultimately just kind of like running through Vega hitting R and just killing things. As we talked about, they had a better team fight. Were able to play around that team fight. I love seeing the Viger play with his team. Unlike the first game where the center was just kind of in no man's land farming. So Viger, he did give up a lot of farm to Triss, but team-wise, very, very impactful with the follow-up CC for that MF, who, with that one more combo, man, that MF does a lot of damage. And then Ornn just doing Ornn things with the Mumu. So love the adaptation. They played great the second game. They played to their win cons a bit with a little insanity there towards the end, but all in all, CBT was going to have a harder time with the way their comp was built that second game, and BYOB able to make them pay.
Yeah. Now, confirm for me something real quick. We are going to have a tiebreaker next week because of this.
Right. So what'll happen, from my understanding, is because they are finished tied with that record for second place, they will play a 1-game matchup, I believe, or maybe it's a best of 3. I'll have to find out. But it basically, whoever wins that one will have sole possession of second place. Loser of that will have third place.
Okay, so then from BYOB, I need to see more of what happened in this game than what happened in that first game. Because that first game, I said it, this is like watching a completely different team play in the second game. So like they were a lot more coordinated. They were a lot more together with this one. And not just because their comp was a 5-man, kill everybody comp. They probably just had it better together with this game. I don't know if they work better under pressure. But they need to bring more of that to that tiebreaker that's coming up next week.
I think their front to back comp, from what we saw in the previous games, when they get away from the front to back comp, is where they've kind of struggled for their setup. So if they're going to run, something other than a front to back, if they're going to run a pick comp or something, I would expect maybe a little bit more practice from them if they intend to run the front to back. Clean up little mistakes. But I mean, their wombo when they're fighting front to back, they do the things they need to do. They just, when we're not playing around the win conditions is when they seem to kind of struggle. So I like what I've seen from them. I think they clean a couple things up. They'll be in a really good spot. From CBT's perspective, the comp, the picking was a little kind of crazy for that second game. The kind of pick thought process for picking that Viego that early, and then having a Gragas top, having an Alistar. Just kind of put themselves in a weird spot to execute, especially when you got the Trist and the Kaisa. Play something like that off. Maybe something that has a little bit more disengage. Like a Victor or even a Sajani in the jungle would have actually benefited them more. I think. Hey, we're a Snake Lady. Disengage. Just saying. I still haven't seen Cassie, and she's got a special place in my heart. But really good games tonight, guys. It was very, very entertaining to watch. Very entertaining to call. Agai, any final thoughts before we close it out for the evening?
Shout out to the one we've been talking about all night. Shout out to Jester. We was critiquing you pretty hard in the first game, but you brought it back in the second one. I'm gonna give it to you. That fight with Tristana, though, I don't know what happened there, man, but that was hilarious to watch. So good job, good job to the Kaiser, good job to Tristana, Smartphone Z, and CBXL. Our junglers out here, Honey Badger, one hand, top laners, stay on your islands, and supports, you sacrifice.
Hey, that Ornn left his jungle and teleported to save his man bot lane. What more could you ask? The Ornn gave us items. He gave us teleport. He did what you want a top to do. Can't fault the man.
He abandoned the Moo. If Viego had just stuck with that, he could have just killed a Moo. But Viego was confused. Like, okay. The only people who knew what was happening at that moment was us, because we saw where he was going. But that's about it. Like,
all right.
Oh man, but yeah, that's it for me, man. If it's nothing else, it's good night, everybody. It was fun cast tonight.
All right. So final thought on standings: Baron Buddies is 10-0. CB TABARNAK 6-4, TD Braum 6-4. Eclipse Gaming Hellfire does finish 5-5. Looks like Divine Temple is 2-8, and Brad Vulture Gaming also 1-9. So I'm Astro Glider, my partner Agai. Again, happy birthday to our producer Soulkeeper, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
One more year. Yep. See y'all tomorrow if y'all joining us.